Yay. Okay, okay. I'm live, but I'm frozen. Hmm. I'm live, but I'm frozen. I should have put my mic in. It's frozen. Oh no, it's not. Well, I don't know, y'all. It looks
But
like
I'm
it's
frozen. I should have put my mic in.
okay. I see what's happening.
It's frozen.
Okay. So y'all know how this is, right? A pain in the behind. At least I know y'all can hear me. Hello, what's going on, y'all? Hello, hello. So excuse the way I'm looking. I have a huge camera. Oh, not huge camera. I have a huge screen, computer screen, right? So my camera is way up top. And so I like to look at myself. I don't know why when I'm talking for my Zoom meetings, which is crazy. So you'll see me looking at the camera, and then you'll see me looking at the screen too, so I can see your comments. So hey, Candace, what's up, lady? You can hear me, right? So I wanted to come on here really fast and just share because I've had quite a few people email me, DM me, just ask me in conversation, what happened to my Release the Change podcast, right? I did it for a whole year and it was just an incredible experience. We had some amazing guests, some of my closest friends, some of my closest colleagues came on board and just shared some wisdom, some knowledge, some inspiration, some motivation, some empowering words, some education, some strategy. It was just amazing. It was a dream come true for me. But what I want to say is it's not finished. It's not done. I'm not quitting. However, there comes a time in your business and in your life too, right? Where you realize some things that are no longer nurturing you or serving you or benefiting you, you got to let go, right? And it doesn't mean that you failed at something. It doesn't mean that people can't still receive what they need to receive from you. It just means that it's time to release that chain, right? So I had to release the chains of the Release the Chains podcast in order for me to put my energy into other things that I could, really focus on that would serve my community better. And so, in business, people are always asking, are wondering about when do you quit? Because quitting is not a bad thing either. Like sometimes you gotta quit. You gotta quit people. You gotta quit, certain projects. You gotta quit certain ideas. You gotta quit certain projects. What I'm saying? Like quitting is not a bad thing. Quitting is a bad thing when you just give up without trying, right? So with the Release Change podcast, I definitely tried, and it's not finished. I'm saying that it's definitely not finished, right? I'm going to do it differently when it needs to be done. So let me tell you the three reasons why, for me, I felt that for the podcast, which is still available, you can still listen to it on, all of the streaming platforms, on my Ari Squires YouTube channel. The shows are still there. They're still getting views, still getting downloads. Great shows, y'all. So many shows. I think we have like 24 episodes because I wasn't doing a weekly. But this will help you to kind of, think for yourself if there's something in your business that you're running and you feel like, should I take a pause? Should I quit? Should I go ahead and release it? Right. So for me, it was easy. If it don't make dollars, it ain't making no motherfucking sense for me. Right. It's a business. A business is supposed to produce income. A business needs cash flow. A business needs money. So if you're working on something in your business that is not generating income, right? And I'm not talking about from, YouTube, YouTube, whatever the heck it is, where you monetize because it's making money there. I had sponsorships and made a little money there, but it wasn't bringing in enough money for me to keep putting in the amount of energy that I put into it, which is my second thing of when sometimes you'll know when it's time to release something, is if you're putting too much time into it or you're wasting time, right? you're wasting time. There's not an ROI on your time. Okay. Meaning, it's not, it doesn't well, no, it felt for this, it felt really good, but there wasn't the time, I was putting too much time and energy into it without it having a return, where I was able to, once I stopped the podcast, I was able to revert that time into something that had a better return on investment for myself and other people and my team, because I was, pulling my team to do this and do that and do this and do that, when I needed my team to do other this and that and this and that, right? So that's another thing. And then just emotionally, once you're doing something and it no longer feels good, that emotional attachment to it starts to release itself, right? And then you're like, wait a minute, why do I feel so good? Why do I feel amazing right now, right? And it's because you were emotionally attached to something that was not serving you. Have y'all been there? Right? Have y'all been there before? It could be a relationship, a friendship, a job. I'm sure y'all been in there in your job. I know for me, when I worked many years ago, that emotional attachment to something, and then you start feeling different about the situation, right? So I know y'all feel me on that, right? So that was the thing for me when it came to the podcast. So what I decided to do with the podcast is only do shows when necessary. So when I go to South Africa, I'm going to be meeting with so many people. For those of you that don't know, I'm hosting my very first mastermind conference. It's really a mastermind seminar in South Africa, in Johannesburg, this month. And I'm doing a tour as well in South Africa as well. So I'm going to be doing some shows while I'm there, because because the purpose of me wanting to even do the Roots of Change podcast, if you've ever seen it, the main thing I talked about was releasing emotional, mental, financial, and generational chains. And there's a chain, there's what is this? It's this weird energy amongst African Americans and Africans that is weird, because there's such a difference in culture, and so we can learn so much from each other, and there's so many stereotypes and so many misconceptions on each side of it. African Americans think a certain way of Africans, Africans think a certain way of African Americans, only because of what we see on social media and in the media. But when you sit down and have conversations, which is why I'm hosting this mastermind and this conference, to bring us all together, right? So we can have these fireside chats and these open conversations and this dialogue, and do business together and have global, get your brand in America and get your American brand in Africa, and be global, kind of thing. You have to converse. We have to be open-minded. And that's what I want to do. When I went to South Africa last year, I saw such a great opportunity for that. I saw such amazing business opportunities for us Americans in South Africa, as well as y'all wait, I can't even talk about a lot of stuff that's happening until it happens, but there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes for Africans being able to benefit here in the US as well, business-wise. So that's what I'm working on. So with the podcast, I'm going to be doing some interviews, doing some other type of content to kind of introduce this global movement that I'm a part of. So I just wanted to share that. So what I am doing instead, right, when I say that sometimes we're putting too much energy into something that's no longer serving us. So what I've decided to do is, if I have a message that I want to get out into the world, what I noticed was I had amazing guests, like super dope guests. But I noticed that my audience wanted to hear from me. When I did my solo shows, my XRE show, just the shows that I did kind of like on my own, I noticed that there was a lot more interest in those shows. People wanted to hear the stories and, get a little more insight into my life, my experience, my strategies, my business mind, et cetera, et cetera. So I decided that what I'm actually going to be doing is speaking I'm gonna go ahead and launch, my speaking career. I've spoken here and there. I've done things here and there. I do a lot of training behind the scenes, sitting here on the Zoom, which is great. I love it. Do a lot of sales training, a lot of sales training. But now I'm ready to take the stage, mainly the live stages. Now that we're opening back up and people are hosting their conferences, and people are getting together, they're masterminding, and there's workshops, and there's these amazing things going on. So I'm letting you all know, if you have something coming up, if you see something that I will be great for, please put my name in the hat. I am interested. Some things I will speak for free. I'll come. I'll spend my own dime, get my own plane ticket, my own hotel to come and share, because that's what the podcast was about: sharing knowledge, sharing information, sharing my story for the world. So that's what you're gonna be seeing a lot more of me doing, is speaking, on platforms to share this information of building brands, building brand equity, and overcoming the odds. I think that when we can tap into other people and know what they've come from, especially my story: incarceration, homelessness, in and out of jail, just not having anything, to really just being resilient and sticking to the vision and sticking to the goal. And, and what that took, I really believe that with those techniques, it wasn't just faith. It was not just faith. It was not just belief. Those two things were very big parts of it, but it was a lot of planning. There was a lot of strategy behind, the whole entire process of sleeping in the back of my car. Okay. There was a lot of processes that I've been writing down, that I've been, sharing, with other people, that other people have been implementing, and it's been helping them in their lives and in their businesses. So I want to speak, y'all. I'm ready, y'all. So I wanted to come on here and say that the Recent Change podcast is not gone. It's not gone. I'm going to be doing shows every once in a while, but I am going to be allowing folks to kind of come a little bit more behind the scenes in some of the things that I do, especially when I start speaking. I'm definitely going to be having a cameraman with me, or woman, recording the process, and just, taking people more behind the scenes. But like I said, if you have some events coming up, some conferences, mainly for entrepreneurial men and women, big, small, whatever, masterminds, please, 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 please go to my website, auriespars.com, and book me to speak. Like I said, some of the events I will do for free, some I want to be paid for, but we can have that conversation. But again, I can speak on brand equity, making money offline, building business, marketing. All of these things are just come so easy, and I have tools. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not there to motivate you. I'm there to teach your audience tools, tips, and strategies that they can write down, take, and go implement the next day and see results from it. And then also too, on the empowerment side of it, I do have a really good talk that I do about overcoming the odds, okay? Releasing the chains and overcoming the odds. So I just wanted to come on and share that, because I literally just left a podcast recording just tonight, Buckhead. You guys will see it. It's probably going to be launching sometime in November, so I'll share that with you guys. And I was just like, yeah, it's time, Ari. It's time for you to get out here and start speaking and start sharing more with the people in the world, because that was what the podcast was all about. So thank you guys that are tuned in. Thank you guys that are here for the replay. I appreciate y'all. And I just love you guys so much. I appreciate all the support, all the love. We need that. We need love. We need love, especially right now, and where this crazy world is, where this economy is, where we are as people. I'm seeing a lot of growth, and I'm so excited for that. But we have to continue the love. And thank you, Candace, so much for putting it on my website. There's a tab up there that says speaker or something like that. You can literally book me right there on my website. So I just want to come on here and share, because you guys have been asking me about the podcast. So thank you guys. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace. Now I got to figure out how to get up out of here. Lord have mercy. Peace, y'all.